All right, I was getting this latex prepped to glue as the bag that goes around the frame to make a vac bed. And I have two different colors here that I'm using. I'm using this transparent lilac on the front and this transparent blue on the back. And what the first step is, after cutting it, of course, I've got the length of both of these things cut so that it makes it about 19 inches past the top pipe. So like if you started at the bottom pipe and then go the entire length of the vac bed, then it'll go about another 19 inches, and that's so that you can roll it on a dowel. So really we only have to join three sides because the top is going to remain open. And we're going to do a 1/2 inch overlap. And what I'm doing ahead of time is I'm taping off where I'm going to glue. That way I've got a nice hard edge. When I go to paint the glue on, I can use this basically just to mask off so that my seam ends right there. And I did have to kind of do a little bit of planning, figuring out exactly which one was going to overlap with which, because the lilac is actually 0.4 millimeters thick and the transparent blue is 0.25, so it's a bit thinner. And because of that, I decided that I wanted the blue to be on bottom, and I'm gonna actually use this glass cutting board here. So once I've got this taped, I'm basically going to kind of put this glass cutting board like this, and then my transparent lilac material is going to end up gluing like this. So you got to pay attention because there's a shiny side and then there's a matte side. And so the reason why I want to do the lilac on top, it's a thicker material, so it's going to be a little bit less likely to curl. And I don't really want to put tape on the back side of my top piece, because as you're gluing it down, it's kind of nice to be able to stretch just a little bit on this top latex. And if there's no backing tape on the back of it, then you can stretch it. I am going to, however, do some backing tape on the back of this. And what that's going to look like, I can go ahead and kind of show. So the backing tape is going to end up going right to the edge like that, just to kind of give you a demo. So that's going to keep that from curling up, because when you put the glue on it, the latex will want to like curl. So having that tape there is going to keep that nice and stiff. But having no backing on this one gives me the freedom to be able to kind of work the latex, to steer it. If I need to kind of steer left or right as I'm doing it, I've got that ability. Being thicker, it's not going to be as likely to curl. If you do, then you can start with backing material also on the top, and then just kind of peel it off as you glue. And so you'd kind of put it down and then you peel a little more off. Or you could go ahead and glue however long you're going to try to do. I wouldn't try to glue like the whole thing, because that's a lot to deal with. I would probably do maybe like 1 foot at a time, or maybe like 1.5 feet at a time, because if you go ahead and glue like the whole length of it, it's just prone to fold over and try to glue to itself. So glue only a manageable length, and then you could peel the tape off just that length that you glued after you give it like a minute to set up, because after about a minute, then it won't be as likely to curl anymore. And if you pull the backing tape off, then it's probably going to stay straight. So anyways, but one thing I'll point out is, as I'm doing this tape, I'm wiping it, because it's got dust on it and the tape's not going to really like to stick to it. And I'm using this big bowl here as a paperweight, kind of latex weight, I should say. And I've got my cutting board, so I have squares. My squares are all 1/2 inch, so that's what I'm using. I'm like lining up the edge with this grid, and then I can take this as a wet paper towel, and then I'm gonna use a dry paper towel, and this will get the dust, the powder off. So then I can continue taping. And then I can try to keep it at a 1/2 inch. And I'm only gonna tape one side at a time because I don't know how much I'll get done today. And we've learned if you leave the tape on here too long, it becomes kind of a pain in the butt to get off. It sticks and then it leaves residue. So I'm only gonna tape off one edge, and then if that's all I get done today, that's fine. And then I'll do the bottom edge, and then I'll do the other side, and that's pretty much it. Once you glue the 3 sides, you're pretty much done. So that's just kind of a rough rundown of it.